WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Not guilty. That's the verdict tonight in the trial of a former Calhoun County coach accused of inappropriately touching a girl in 2017. Thanks for joining us tonight at 10. 2 years ago, former Bruce High School teacher and coach LaRae Jordan Jr. was accused of touching a child for lustful purposes. Our Quentin Smith was in the courtroom today and has reaction from both sides after the not guilty ruling.
It took members of the jury nearly 3 hours to deliberate before returning with their verdict. During trial this week, the jury heard testimonies from the victim herself, as well as teachers and students who were at the school during the time of the alleged incident. Now, LaRae Jordan Jr., he was first accused of inappropriately touching an 8th grade female student back in 2017. When the accusations came down, Jordan was fired from the Calhoun County School District. When the not guilty verdict was read in court, a brief cheer of excitement could be heard from those supporting Jordan. However, it was the complete opposite for the family of the victim. Family members say they're heartbroken and disappointed with this outcome.
Well, my client is very appreciative of the jury verdict, and he's blessed to have received that verdict.
How can you say he's not guilty? Why would 3 teenagers get up and testify and say this happened, and you find this man not guilty? You know, you just letting this man go free so he can go out and do it again to some other child.
Now, not long after Jordan was charged, then Calhoun County School District Superintendent Mike Moore and former Bruce High School Principal Mike Gillespie were both charged with failing to report an alleged sex crime. At this time, they're both still waiting on a court date to face those charges. Reporting in Calhoun County, Quentin Smith, WCBI News.
At the time of the original incident, current Bruce principal Heather Nix was also charged with failure to report, but that charge was dismissed. Mississippi will soon allow drug felons to apply for federal food assistance. Courtney Ann Jackson hears from some ex-offenders who were previously banned from using that support as they re-enter society.
New Way Mississippi is a transitional program. Brian Hauser is one of several men going through the program that encountered this harsh reality after being released from serving time for a felony drug conviction.
DHS come by and had a meeting with all of us, and a lot of folks here can get SNAP, but the ones that had a drug charge like me, they told us that we couldn't apply for it because we're not going to be allowed to get it.
Ronald Griffin was also in that meeting and was caught off guard by the policy.
I had some little issues about that. You know, it looked like to me they were doing, you know, you can go out and do this, but if you do this, oh no, we ain't gonna give you. It should be equal. Right.
Mississippi was one of only 3 states that had not opted out of the federal ban. The decision to opt out was made by the legislature as they examined criminal justice reform this year. New Way's president and CEO says the change will help as they encourage the ex-offenders in their next step.
Oftentimes we put laws in place that really affect them and really doesn't really do a lot to help reduce the crime, or even more, does not help reduce the recidivism, because you're actually giving them one more stumbling block that they have to overcome.
The drug felons will still need to meet the other requirements of getting a job, entering a workforce training program, or being in school to be eligible for food assistance come July.
That little subsidy will help us and to not turn into our old ways. Because if you want to eat, you're going to do whatever it takes.
I didn't have that opportunity, but yet now I do. So. And I'm thankful for that.
Courtney Ann Jackson, WCBI News.
Time now to get a first look at our forecast. We'll send things over to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson. Hey there, Keith.
Scott, right now we're looking north from downtown Columbus at some towering clouds back there. You can't really see any lightning. At this point, we've been noticing some lightning there on the northern horizon right now. And as typical, when we go to live camera here, we don't see anything. As soon as I go off of it, I'm sure we'll see some lightning out there. There's a little bit of cloud to ground lightning in this. A lot of that is cloud to cloud, but some good downpours right over Houston right now, stretching up towards Pontotoc. This is not severe, so don't worry about that. Some downpours out there. For the next 24 hours here in the Columbus area, we will take it down into the 60s, mid-80s tomorrow with a chance for some afternoon and evening storms. Well, more on that in just a few minutes.
We first brought you the story of Golden Triangle Early College High School back in 2015. Since then, we have followed the students as they have navigated their way through high school and college classes. Now they've reached the final stop of their journey. Our Riley Livingston has more.
I've been waiting for this day for so long. We worked super hard to get here, and now we're here.
The past 4 years have been a whirlwind for the Golden Triangle Early College High School seniors. Many of the students are graduating with an associate's degree or a substantial number of college hours. But it hasn't been an easy road. These seniors have been here since day one. There have been challenges, but they want to set the standard for the classes that will follow them.
Figuring out what pathway they needed to take when they went maybe the academic route at EMCC, or making sure that they had access and information to all the career technical programs so that they could make an informed decision about what they wanted to do.
The goal of the school is to give students the tools they need for life, be it more education or going directly into the workforce.
I think I've decided that I'm going to work for the railroad for my future. That job was actually offered to me, and although it's a little different than what I wanted to do for a living, I really don't want to turn it down.
I'm leaving here with so many new friends. They feel like family. So many people that I know I can call on when I leave here. With the education, I'm leaving here with the associate's degree, which is super crazy to me.
School leaders say they have seen the seniors grow during the process.
So many of them have great dreams, and they build a foundation for those dreams right here at East Mississippi Community College. We're very proud of that group.
Jill Savely says she hopes to see the program continue to build from here.
The challenge is to make sure that every student has a personalized experience while they're here, and to make sure that all of that enthusiasm that we had for this first group and in the beginning remains, and that, you know, when it's year 10, year 12, we're still just as excited to have those freshmen come in as we were in the fall of 2015.
FYI, they were dancing to High School Musical. Love that dance. All right, 54 seniors will be walking across the stage on May 11th, all of them with a high school diploma, and 40 with an associate's degree or a career technical certification. Organizers of Columbus's annual Market Street Festival show their appreciation to those who will be working behind the scenes this weekend. This evening, the Market Street Association hosted a sponsor and a volunteer appreciation party. The party was held at the Trotter Convention Center right here in downtown Columbus. This year's Market Street Festival has 50 sponsors and more than 300 volunteers. Market Street Coordinator Amber Rislin says the event officially kicks off Market Street Weekend.
This is a time where we all get to come together and have a great time before we get to work. Well, we've been working really hard to get Market Street Festival ready for quite a while, but we'll be hard at work first thing tomorrow morning, as well as for all day Saturday, getting everything ready for a wonderful Market Street Festival. So this is kind of a time to kick back before the hard work begins.
A lot of excitement in the air. For a preview of the fun, be sure to tune into WCBI tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. for a special live Market Street edition of Mid-Morning with Andrea. Speaking of the Market Street Festival, it's taking over downtown this weekend, and that can only mean one thing: someone will win a car. WCBI's Crank It Up contest is back, and some lucky person will be getting that key that cranks up a made-over Nissan Xterra, and it could be Grace Quinn from West Point. She qualified at B&B Furniture in Aberdeen. If you haven't qualified, you still have one more chance this Saturday at the Market Street Festival. Visit WCBI.com for details on how you can crank it up.
All right, let's go back to our Alpha Insurance Camera Network, a live view. Will we see any lightning here? Come on, Mother Nature. There it is. In Columbus, we saw a little bit of that. She threw me a bone. All right, your full forecast is next. Stay with us.
With Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Here's our Friday planner. 60s in the morning, around 80 by noon. Not a lot of action expected during the morning hours, but during the heat of the day, we should get back up somewhere into the 80s, mid-80s in some locations, and that may spell some late afternoon and evening showers and storms. So widespread 80s again, warm and humid. On our Friday, winds about 5 to 15, mid-80s in some spots, maybe upper 80s again down across the southern tier. For you in West Alabama, 83 to about 86 degrees. So that is tomorrow, 30% chance of rain. It should not be a washout here. Let's talk about Market Street tomorrow evening for the concerts. Can't rule out a shower storm around Columbus. Some additional scattered storms Saturday. Now, it doesn't look like it's going to rain the entire time here. That's good news for us. So we'll just see how this all plays out as we go throughout the next 24 to 48 hours. Here's our time lapse from downtown Tupelo. Notice the clouds coming on in. This evening, we have some non-severe showers and thunder showers. Some pretty good downpours here in Chickasaw County. Some thunder and lightning, too. So It may sound interesting. You may hear some heavy rain and you may see some thunder and lightning, but there's nothing really to worry about at this point this evening, just a little bit of rain. The strong storms today really got going near Little Rock and moved up here in the parts of Kentucky. Widespread reports of wind damage and even tornadoes across the natural state and parts of Missouri tonight. And there's another big cluster down there in Texas and western Louisiana. But we are in this void again, so it should be relatively tame in the near term. But we have these little ripples in the upper levels of the atmosphere moving on through, and those will kick off these little clusters of storms from time to time tomorrow and Saturday. Now, the best chance of strong storms on Friday off to our southwest. We may see a few gusty storms perhaps on Saturday. That's not guaranteed, but can't rule it out, much like around the region today. Futurecast is suggesting as we start out our day on Friday, a mix of clouds and sun. Not a lot of action. Can't rule out a little bit of rain tomorrow morning, but probably not a lot going on. As we get into mid-afternoon, still fairly tame most likely, but much like today and even yesterday, we can't rule out some pop-up showers and storms around here going into the evening and the overnight hours, and these little clusters will be with us as we go through our day Saturday. So it doesn't look like it's going to rain the entire day in all locations, but there will be an opportunity for rain and some thunderstorms here on Saturday before it clears out on Sunday and Monday. So a little bit drier Sunday and Monday. Another chance for some rain and storms will return by Tuesday of next week. There's your AccuWeather 7-day forecast. More of the show after the break.
Welcome back, everyone. Strokes are the 5th leading cause of death for Americans. In tonight's Health Talk with Baptist, we look at some of the risk factors and which ones could be in your control.
Hi, I'm Belinda Sanderson, Director of Quality at Baptist Memorial Hospital Golden Triangle. This week we've talked about symptoms and types of strokes. Tonight we're going to talk about controllable and uncontrollable risk factors. Some risk factors can be controlled by lifestyle changes and/or medications. High blood pressure, atrial fibrillation, AFib, high cholesterol, and diabetes are all medical risk factors for stroke that are controllable. People with high blood pressure have 1.5 times the risk of having a stroke. AFib is a type of irregular heartbeat. It's most common in people aged 65 and older. It raises stroke risk because it allows blood to pool in the heart, where it tends to form clots that can be carried to the brain, causing a stroke. High cholesterol in arteries can block the normal flow of blood to the brain and cause a stroke. Total cholesterol levels below 200 is recommended. People with diabetes are up to 4 times more likely to have a stroke, mainly because they have other stroke risk factors such as high blood pressure, AFib, and/or high cholesterol. Some factors for stroke can't be modified by medical treatment or lifestyle changes. Age. Stroke occurs in all age groups. Family history of stroke. Stroke seems to run in some families. Gender. Men have a higher risk for stroke in young and middle age, but rates even out at older ages and more women die from stroke. Race. Studies show that the age-adjusted incidence of stroke is about twice as high in African Americans and Hispanic Americans as in Caucasians. Join us next time for Health Talk with Baptist.
Mail your topic suggestions to healthtalk@wcbi.com. Health Talk has been brought to you by Baptist Memorial Hospital Golden Triangle.
2 wins away from a semifinal appearance. Are A teams with gold on their minds? Highlights and scores in round 3 next in sports.
Sports with Tom Ebel.
Rain, rain, just go away. Mother Nature had other plans for Mississippi State baseball on Thursday, pushing the series opener back one day. Mississippi State and Texas A&M's Game 1 postponed to Friday. It'll be a top 20 doubleheader. Game 1 starting at 4 p.m. Game 2 starting after Game 1. Game 3 still set in stone for your Saturday, 2 p.m. first pitch. That game will be on the SEC network. High school baseball third round begins. New Hope taking on Amory in the third round. Ryan Burt with the first hit of the ball game in the second, and it's a big one to deep left field. Gets down, and that'd be a stand-up triple for Burt. But Amory settles in. Hunter Jones able to get the strikeout. Burt stranded on the bags. No score through 2. But in the third inning, New Hope starts clicking. Bases loaded for Peyton Springfield. Liner to short. Amory trying to turn 2. But the play isn't made at first. That's going to bring home Whittington. So that's the first run of the ball game. Then that man one more time, Ryan Burt. I don't know how this one stays inside the yard. It's off the wall. And that's going to bring home another 2 runs, so a 2-run triple for Burt, his second of the ball game. It'd be a 4-run inning for New Hope, and it'd be a party for the Trojans the rest of the way. New Hope dominates Game 1, 9-0. A 1A battle on the diamond. Hamilton taking on the defending champ Nanawaya Warriors, bottom second. Sam Robinson heats things up with a shot right up the gap. Nathan Fast lives up to his name and gets home for the Lions, so Hamilton strikes first, but then they score again on a wild pitch. That brings Robinson home, so it's a 2-0 lead for Hamilton. But top of the third, Jake Kite showing off the power. Sends a ball right over the wall. 3-run mashed taters. Gives the Warriors a 3-2 lead, but bottom of the third, Lions resilient. Jamie Dean Atkins with a base hit. That brings home the tying run, so it's 3-all. But here comes Nanawaya. Cody Clark with a grounder to short. Lions not quick enough. That scores Trevor Holderness. It's another Nanawaya lead, followed shortly by Coley Taylor. Knocked through the left. That brings home Taylor Higginbotham. So that's a 4-run inning for Nanawaya, but how about Hamilton? Roaring back in this one. The Lions take Game 1 10-7. Nanawaya will have to defend home field in Game 2 tomorrow. A lot of scouts on hand for the 1A playoff matchup between TCPS and Smithville, and those scouts seeing Jared Johnson. The man is a stud on the mound, but showing off the wheels and the bat this time, waltzing in for a stand-up double. He'd be forced at third, but Cole Huey gets a hit to center to drive in Todd Cowley. And that's how Smithville gets on the board first. It's 1-0. Just as the Eagles were set to bat, the lights would go out. It'd be an hour delay. Who forgot to pay the power bill? But it wouldn't matter because the Eagles get right back to work. Canyon Fleener walked Judd Carroll with a nice bunt to get Fleener in scoring position, and he'd be brought home thanks to John Paul Yates. That tied the ball game up at 1, but Smithville dominates the rest of the way, winning 7-1. Heritage Academy back home, taking on Indianola Academy. Pat's looking to wrap up the series. Cole Ketchum on the mound, tossing the sauce early on, gets the strikeout with 2 men on to get out of the jam. Not much different in the second. Ketchum again racking up the Ks. Game remains scoreless. But in fourth inning, Colonel's up by 1. J.R. Lott knocks one through left to give the Pats a base hit. K.J. Smith at the plate. But here goes Lott, stealing second base. He would later score the first run for the Pats. Heritage knocks off the reigning champs, downing Indianola 4-1. Let's get to some scores. How about on a Thursday night? Oxford falling to DeSoto Central 4-0. Saltillo defeats Lewisburg 11-7. Lafayette tops Ridgeland 15-8. Pontotoc, thanks to a Pico Townsend 3-run homer, takes down Ripley 5-4. Houston defeats North Pontotoc 7-4. Calhoun City wins 3-0. Boonville gets the dub 8-5. Lake defeats Ingomar 8-7 on a walk-off balk. Then in softball, Lafayette falls to Neshoba Central 2-0. Philly defeats Eupora 5-2. That's it for sports. Have a fantastic rest of your night. WCBI News continues after the break.
Yeah, some showers and storms moving through the Tupelo area right now. Not severe, some downpours, some thunder and lightning. You all know what a good summer storm is, and that's what we have out there right now. So a chance for some additional showers and storms Friday into your Saturday, also next week, but warm summer-like temperatures here for the next 7 days too.
Yeah, it's really going to start ramping up.
As we jumped into May now.
Oh yeah, it's here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.